Some stories aren't meant to be told. They sit in your chest, heavy, waiting for a night like this. If you're here, it means you felt it too. The doubt, the silence, the moment when love stopped feeling safe. Tonight, someone is finally telling the truth. Today's confession story is, I lost my grandma. The attic is too quiet, not peaceful, not calm, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears until they start ringing. I'm sitting on her old floral trunk. It smells like mothballs and peppermint. The floorboards are cold beneath my feet, cold enough that I can feel it through my socks. Dust drifts in the thin beam of light from the circular window. Slow, weightless, like it has nowhere else to be. I have her jewelry box in my lap. It's heavier than I remember. Real wood, dark, worn smooth where her hands used to rest. I shouldn't be here. They told me to stay downstairs with the guests, to eat the dry cake, to nod politely, to listen to stories about how peaceful she looked. Peaceful, that's the word they kept using. But she didn't look peaceful. She looked empty, like something had already left. I used to sit at her feet when she opened this box. It felt like a ceremony. She would lift each piece carefully. A gold locket, a pearl earring with a broken clasp. Everything has a price, she'd say. I thought she meant money. I thought she meant the store where she bought them. I was young. I didn't understand the way her voice would crack on the word price. I didn't notice how her eyes would drift toward the cellar door. The funeral ended 3 hours ago. The house is still full of her perfume. And strangers. They knew the woman who baked pies, who wore soft cardigans, who smiled too easily. They didn't know the woman who stayed awake until 4 a.m, the woman who stood in the kitchen, staring into the corner. I heard her once. Not yet, she whispered. The girl isn't ready. Give me another year. I thought she was dreaming, talking to herself, talking to some memory. But the shadows in that corner didn't move like shadows. They looked like smoke, dense, oily, and they didn't shift when the wind touched the curtains. I open the jewelry box now. The hinges scream. Sharp, metallic. The sound feels too loud for this small space. Inside, velvet lining. Stained, dark circles that look like old watermarks. But they're too dark, too deep. I slide my fingers beneath the false bottom. I remember seeing her do this once. When she thought I was asleep, my nail catches a silk ribbon. I pull. Click. The wood shifts. There's a photograph inside. Old, black and white. Edges curled and yellowed. It's her. Young. Maybe 20. She's standing in front of this house. But there's someone next to her. A man in a suit. That doesn't quite fit. His face is blurred. Like someone smeared a thumb across it. Except for his eyes. His eyes are clear. Solid white. No pupils. No color. Just 2 pale marbles staring through the blur. My throat tightens. I flip the photo over. There's writing on the back. Her handwriting. Butt rushed. Shaking. He came for the firstborn. I gave him the years instead. I traded the light for quiet. But the debt doesn't die when I do. My heart begins to pound. Slow at first. Then harder. The firstborn. That was my mother. My mother died the day I was born. Everyone called it a complication. A tragedy. She gave her life for yours. Grandma used to say, her hand would tremble when she brushed my hair. I thought it was grief. Now I look at the man in the photograph. He's not a man. He's a collector. Downstairs, the door slams. The guests are leaving. Voices fade. Take care. Call if you need anything. Car engines start. Gravel crunches. Then silence. Total silence. Except for the wind slipping through the round window. It whistles. Thin. Reedy. Like someone breathing through a straw. I look back at the box. There's one more thing in the hidden compartment. A key. Iron. Heavy. Cold against my palm. It doesn't belong to any door in this house. I know every lock. This key is older. Rust clings to its teeth. And then I hear it. Thump. From downstairs. From the kitchen. From the cellar. Thump. Heavier this time. Like something large shifting its weight. Thump. Rhythmic. Deliberate. I shouldn't go down there. I should stay here. Lock the attic door. Pretend I heard nothing. But the key in my hand is warming. It's not cold anymore. It's pulsing, like a heartbeat. My heartbeat, or something else's. I stand. My knees feel unsteady. The attic door creaks when I open it. The hallway beyond is dark. No lights, no voices, just the house listening. I step forward. The first stair groans under my weight. Then the next, and the next. I reach the kitchen. The house feels different down here. Heavier. The cellar door is at the far end, behind the pantry. Thick wood, brass handle, scratches around the lock. Grandma always kept it sealed. The foundation is shifting, she'd say. It's dangerous down there. I used to believe her. I stand in front of it now. The wood is trembling, not shaking, vibrating, like something on the other side is breathing against it. And then I hear it. A voice, not one voice, 1,000 layered together, low, distorted, a hum that crawls into my ears and settles behind my eyes. The dead. The sound stretches. The dead is due. My fingers tighten around the key. It feels hot now, alive. I look at the lock. I already know it will fit. I slide the iron in. It fits perfectly. I turn it. The bolt slides back. Sharp, violent, clack. The sound cracks through the kitchen like a gunshot. The door swings inward. Slow. There are no stairs. No basement. No stone walls. Just a hole. A deep, endless black opening in the floor. It smells like peppermint and wet earth. Like her, and standing at the edge of it, is Grandma. But she isn't wearing her cardigan. No glasses. No soft smile. She's wearing the dress from the photograph. The one she wore when she was 20. Her back is to me. She looks young. Too young. Grandma? My voice barely leaves my throat. She doesn't turn. I tried, she says. Her voice is clear. Young. Not the trembling voice from the hospital bed. I gave them 40 years of my life to keep you safe. My heart stumbles. Who? I ask. Slowly, she turns. Her face is blurred, like the man in the photograph. Her features are smearing away. Her nose, her mouth, gone. Only her eyes remain. They are turning white, solid, empty. The ones who live in the quiet, she says. Her voice overlaps with the hum now. They don't want the years anymore. She lifts her hand. No, not a hand. The fingers are too long. Too many joints bending in places they shouldn't. They want the soul that was promised 40 years ago. I step back. My heel hits the kitchen table. A bowl tips. Fruit crashes to the floor. Apples roll. Across the tiles. One by one. Thud, thud, thud. She moves toward me. She isn't walking. She's gliding. The air around her freezes. My breath fogs. I'm sorry, she whispers. But there's no sorrow in it. Only relief. Like someone setting down a burden they've carried too long. It's not your fault, she says. It's just the price of the light. Her fingers reach for my face. Too many joints. Too pale. They press against my forehead. And the world goes white. Not bright. Not glowing. White like paper. White like erased memory. White like dead eyes. Silence. Then, I'm sitting in the attic. On the floral trunk. The jewelry box in my lap. The sun is sinking outside the circular window. Shadows stretch across the floorboards. I look at my hands. Smooth. Unmarked. Young. I feel stronger. Lighter. Like something heavy has been lifted. When I try to speak, nothing comes out. No voice. Only air. I move toward the small round window. I expect to see my reflection. Instead, I see a girl. Standing in the kitchen. Staring at the cellar door. She looks like me. Same hair. Same eyes. But she's crying. She's calling for her grandmother. I press my hand against the glass. I want to tell her I'm here. I want to tell her to run. To lock the door. To burn the house down if she has to. But I can't. I feel it now. The stillness. The watching. The quiet wrapping around me like smoke. I'm not in the attic. I'm in the corner of the kitchen. In the shadow that doesn't move when the wind does. I am part quiet now. and I have 40 years to wait. I look at the jewelry box. It feels different now. Heavier. Hungrier. I open the secret compartment again. Slowly. The photograph is still there. The man with the blurred face. The white, empty eyes. But now, there's someone new beside him. A girl. Floral dress. Soft smile. Her head tilted slightly toward him. Like she trusts him. Like she doesn't know. My breath catches. I know that dress. I know that smile. Her eyes, they're already starting to fade. Just at the edges. Like mist creeping over glass. The debt is paid. But the interest is just beginning. Down in the kitchen, she's screaming my name. It sounds far away. Like it's echoing up from the bottom of a well. I'm standing right behind her. My hand hovers inches from her shoulder. So close I should feel the warmth of her sweater. The blue one. The one I knitted last Christmas. My fingers reach. They pass through the wool. Through her skin. Through everything. Like she's made of smoke. I'm not a ghost. I'm something thinner than that. A frequency. A radio station playing in an empty house. She turns toward the cellar door. The iron key is still in the lock. It's glowing. Not bright. Not warm. A dull, rhythmic throb. Like a bruise under skin. "Grandma," she whispers. Her voice shakes. I can see the pulse beating in her neck. I want to scream. I want to tell her the woman she saw wasn't me. It was the debt wearing my face. But my mouth won't move. The silence is filling me, like wet cement poured into my lungs, into my thoughts. I look down. I don't have feet anymore. Only shadows. They stretch from me, bleeding into the floorboards. She reaches for the handle. Don't. I pour everything I have into that word. The kitchen light flickers. Pop. The bulb explodes. Glass scatters across the linoleum. She gasps, covers her head. "Is someone there?" she asks the dark. For a second, she looks directly at the corner where I'm standing. Her eyes widen. She sees something, a ripple in the air, a distortion. I try to lift my hand, to wave, to shape my fingers into something human. But the harder I try to be myself, the stronger the shadows pull, stretching me thin, like a rubber band about to snap. The house doesn't want me whole. It wants me in pieces, in the corners, in the cracks of the ceiling, in the reason the stairs creak at night. She doesn't run. She never does. Too brave, just like her mother, she steps toward the cellar. The door is wide open now. The hole is gone. It looks normal. Concrete walls, shelves lined with old jars. But the smell has changed. The peppermint is gone. Now it smells like ozone and old copper. She takes the first step down. Creak. The sound doesn't come from the wood. It comes from the air itself. I follow her. I don't choose to. I'm tethered, bound to her like a shadow at noon. With every step she takes, I feel myself thinning. The attic drifts further away. The jewelry box, the photograph, my memories, they're fading. I can't remember the color of my first car. I can't remember the taste of the pies I used to bake. I am becoming smaller, simpler, a collection of 2 words. No, stop. That's all that remains of me. The instinct to protect the last thing I have left. She reaches the bottom step. There's a flashlight on the workbench. She turns it on. The beam cuts through the dark. It lands on rows of jars, neatly arranged, like preserves. But they aren't filled with fruit. They're filled with pieces. A baby's first tooth. A lock of hair tied with a yellow ribbon. A wedding ring. The stone missing. She picks up one jar. Her hand trembles. It's my wedding ring. I remember losing it 30 years ago. Crying in the kitchen. Thinking it slipped down the drain. But it didn't. It was taken. Collected. And now she's holding it. And the quiet is starting to breathe again. Canned. Labeled. Taxed. The jars sit in perfect rows. Neat. Organized. Like inventory. "What is this place?" she whispers. Her flashlight trembles in her hand. The beam drifts to the back wall. The foundation is covered in writing. Names. Thousands of them. Some carved deep into the stone. Some scratched in charcoal. Some written in something darker. She steps closer. Her fingers brush across one name. She freezes. It's hers. Her full name, carved carefully. And beside it, today's date. But there's no end, just a dash. A long, trailing line stretching down the wall, all the way to the floor. You found it. The voice doesn't echo. It settles. It comes from behind the water heater, from the thickest shadow in the room. It's him, the tall man from a photograph. He looks like a smudge pressed into reality. Wrong. The flashlight beam touches him and bends, like light doesn't want to stay on him. She screams. The flashlight slips from her hand. It hits the concrete. Clack. It rolls. Clack. The beam spins wildly across the walls. For half a second, it lands on his face. There is no mouth, just smooth gray skin. Flat, featureless. But he speaks anyway. The voice isn't in the room. It's inside her head. The grandmother was a good tenant, he says. Paid on time. Mostly. Where is she? She asks. She's backing toward the stairs now. She's in the walls, he replies. She's a draft in winter. The reason milk spoils early. He rises, 7 feet tall, limbs flowing like liquid under fabric. But she's retired, he says, and the lease is in your name. I scream. I throw myself at him. This time, I don't pass through. I collide with him like ice. He turns. He can see me. His smooth head tilts. His hand lifts and grips the space where my throat should be. It burns. Not flesh. Something deeper. Like paper tearing inside my chest. Be quiet, little bird, he says. You're furniture now, and furniture doesn't speak. He throws me aside. I hit the concrete wall. I feel myself splinter. The girl is at the top of the stairs, pulling at the door. It won't open. The iron key is gone. He climbs the stairs slowly. 1 step, then another, enjoying it. He collects fear, and she is glowing with it. I look at the shelves, the jars, the ring, the tooth, the ribbon. They're not trophies. They're batteries. Memories sealed in glass. Power. I reach for the jar with my wedding ring. I can't touch it, but I can remember it. The day he slipped it onto my finger. Sunlight on grass. His hand warm. Steady. I pour that memory forward, into the glass. The jar begins to vibrate. He stops mid-step. His head turns sharply. I reach for another jar. The lock of hair. The first cry of my daughter. The hospital light. The feeling that the world had just begun. Crack. The jar explodes. Golden light floods the basement. Bright. Fierce. He hisses, like steam bursting from a pipe. He recoils. Run. I scream. This time the word leaves me. Not as sound, as force. The basement door bursts open. She doesn't hesitate. She runs. Through the kitchen, out the front door. Car engine roars. Tires scream against asphalt. She's gone. The golden light fades. Shadows crawl back into place. It's just him and me now. He turns slowly. Anger ripples across his gray skin. You broke the collection, he says. I did. My voice is thinner. I feel lighter. Hollow. The ring is gone. The memory of my daughter's first breath, fading, pieces of me burned away. But she's safe. You'll repay those jars, he says. He moves toward me. I have time, I answer. I glance at the wall. My name is carved there. The dash is longer now. Stretching. Growing. I'm not leaving. The house is quiet again. I sit on the kitchen floor. Dust settling. No footsteps. No engines. She hasn't come back. I hope she never does. I hope she burns the deed. Forgets the address. Forgets the peppermint smell. But sometimes, late at night, the phone in the hallway rings. Soft. Lonely. I know it's her. Somewhere in a bright apartment. Staring at the screen. Wanting to ask if I'm really gone. I stand beside the phone. Waiting for the light to flicker. I am the quiet now. And the quiet has so much to tell her. The car feels like a tomb. Windows sealed. Air too thin. I've been driving for 6 hours. The gas light bleeds red on the dashboard. Steady. Patient. My hands are locked around the steering wheel. Knuckles pale. I can still see her face, the way it blurred, like someone erasing her from the bottom up. I'm on a back road now. Nowhere. Dead cornfields on both sides. The wind slams against doors. And then the radio turns on. I didn't touch it. Static at first. Crackle. Pop. SSSSHHH. Then a voice. Soft. Familiar. You have the key, don't you? It isn't coming from the speakers. It's coming from the passenger seat. I don't look. If I look, it becomes real. I left the house. I shout at the windshield. I'm miles away. Distance is a lie, the voice whispers. The seat beside me dips. Cold weight pressing into the fabric. The house is in place. It's a contract. I glance down. The iron key is resting on my thigh. It wasn't there before. It's glowing that bruised purple again, and it's burning through my jeans. I slam the brakes. The car fishtails. Gravel sprays. I stop in the middle of the road. I grab the key. I throw out the window. It vanishes into the tall, dead grass. Stay there. I scream. I throw the car into gear. I drive. 1 mile. 2. 3. I check the rearview mirror. The key is on the back seat, dripping. Thick black liquid sliding off a metal. It smells like peppermint and wet earth. I pull over again. This time I'm sobbing. The kind that cracks your ribs. What do you want? The shadow in the back seat stretches. Tall, thin, it leans forward. Fingers like icicles brush the back of my neck. The grandmother was greedy. The shadow says. It's him, the collector. She bought 40 years of a soul she didn't own. She owned her own soul. I scream. No, he whispers. She promised yours the day you were born. The truth lands hard. The complication at my birth. My mother dying. Grandma didn't save me. She traded for me. She didn't want to be alone. So she made a deal, and I was the currency. I am the empty jar waiting on the shelf. I won't go back, I whisper. You don't have to, he replies. The house is coming to you. I look outside. The cornfields are gone. The road is gone. There's only a hallway. Flickering light. Peeling wallpaper. My car is parked in the living room. Walls growing around the tires. Ceiling pressing against the roof. The house swallowing the world. I step out of the car. My legs feel heavy, like walking through deep water. She's there. Grandma. Rocking chair. No fire in the fireplace. White marble eyes fixed on me. I'm sorry, honey, she says, her voice muffled. I just couldn't let go. Her hands are gray now, turning brittle. Stone creeping up her wrists. How do I stop it? I ask. She lifts one stiff finger, points toward the cellar. The contract is in the dark. I run. The door is already open. The stairs waiting. He's at the bottom, holding a jar. Empty. Sign, he says. He offers a pen carved from bone. Sign and the house stays quiet. Sign and you get 40 years. I look at the jar, then at him, then at the shadows. There, in the corner, my mother, faint, flickering, like a dying bulb. She's been here all along. Grandma didn't just trade my soul. She traded my mother's peace to keep me breathing. I take the pen. It's warm, heavy. The collector smiles, a tear splitting across his gray skin. I lift the pen, but I don't sign. I drive it into the jar he's holding. Crack. Glass explodes. The sound tears through the basement. 40 years of lies shattering at once. The house screams. Walls peeling like skin. Floor dissolving. The collector howls. Pure static. He lunges. But the light bursting from the broken jar is blinding. Not harsh. Not cold. It's warm. It's my mother's love. Untraded. Unowned. I grab her flickering shape. Go! I whisper. She steadies. She smiles. And then she's gone. Into real light. The house collapses. Everything folds inward. I'm falling. Forever. For a second. Then silence. I wake on gravel. Morning sun rising. No house. No car. Just an empty field. I'm covered in gray dust. Clothes torn. Breathing hard. I reach into my pocket. My fingers close around something smooth, a small piece of wood. From the jewelry box, carved into it, one word, paid. I start to walk. My feet are sore. My head is throbbing, but I'm moving forward. An hour later, I reach a gas station. Fluorescent lights buzz above the door. I catch my reflection in the window. My hair is white. All of it, pure, snowy white. I'm 25 years old, and I look like I've lived a century. I smile. The color of my eyes is back. Deep, brown, human. I sit on the curb and wait for the bus. I have no money, no home, nothing but the clothes on my back and the air in my lungs. But for the first time in my life, the silence is just silence. It isn't heavy. It isn't hungry. It's just quiet. I close my eyes. I listen to the birds. I listen to the wind moving through the empty fields. And I don't hear a single debt being called. No whispers. No contracts. No collector in the walls. I'm free. The word feels strange. Light. Fragile. Mine. A truck passes. The wind lifts my white hair. Somewhere in the distance, a streetlight flickers. Just once. I open my eyes. I stand up, and I keep walking, just in case. Here's a clean, TDS-ready outro for your story narration channel. Calm, steady, and a little haunting. If the story stayed with you, if you felt the silence breathing between the walls, then you were never just listening. You were there. Thank you for walking through the dark with me tonight. If you enjoy stories that linger a little too long in quiet rooms, make sure to follow the channel so you don't miss the next one. Leave a comment and tell me, would you have signed a contract? Until next time, keep the lights steady, keep the doors locked, and if something flickers in the corner of your room, listen carefully. Good night.